What on earth keeps you sane? That's probably a question that most people don't have an answer to. Probably because most people aren't really sane, to be honest. We're great at pretending. We pretend out of self-preservation because being who we truly are will land us broke, in jail, or just isolated. Ironic, right? When I was 10, I met a girl named Ashley that supposedly lived down the street. She would tell me crazy things about some of the neighbors in the area. I have no clue how she knew all the secrets, but she just did. For example, she told me about our neighbor up the street, Mrs. Peterson, and how she brutally killed her husband and was saving his remains in the basement. A few days later, her husband, Mr. Peterson, was reported missing. His face was on posters all over the area. With the information I had from Ashley, I told my grandmother, and she decided to tell the cops. At first, they just wrote me off, but after speaking with Mr. Peterson, they had their suspicions. They wound up getting a warrant, searching the house, and guess what they found? Well, exactly what Ashley said they would. The remains of his body, and the evidence that she did it. The police came to my grandmother's house and asked me how I knew all of this. I told them about my friend Ashley. They asked me to describe Ashley, and when I did, it got very weird. Somehow I ended up in a psychiatric home. The doctors tell me that I couldn't have seen what I thought I saw because the girl I described died in the fire 2 years before that. They showed the proof and the full story in the newspaper. That was her, the exact girl I saw, Ashley. But it didn't change the fact that I was just speaking to her, and I'm not crazy. The more I defended what I saw, the worse it got. The only way out was to pretend. Pretend their meds worked. Pretend I didn't see Ashley. The pretending eventually became the norm. I almost convinced myself that they were right. Maybe I was seeing things. What if I was cured and didn't realize it? But what happened this morning reminded me I was always right. They just couldn't understand it. My grandmother always believed that I had a special gift. She was the only one that can calm me during that time. When she passed away, I had no one. But I never forgot what she said to me. Not all gifts are meant to be shared.
Excuse me? Could you please move? I don't like your energy. It's really messing up my meditation. Oh, come on. I'm just joking. Loosen up. You want to know a little secret? I purposely chose to sit here because, well, I always see you sitting here, and I have an excuse to introduce myself. I'm Ruth.
What up? I'm Damon.
So, Damon, you want to tell me what's on your mind?
Look, I don't really even know you.
Don't. Save it. I really hate talking when I'm meditating.
I'm not in the mood, alright?
My God, come on. Loosen up. No, seriously, I can loosen you up. I'm a professional massage therapist. Stop by this weekend. First one's on me. I can tell you have a really kick-ass job and you could use the relaxation.
How did she know that about me? Or was that just sarcasm? Truth is, the kind of work I do involves a lot of physical altercations. I'm what you would call an off-the-record private investigator. People come to me with the problems that they can't take to the police. And for the right price, I'll fix it. And recently, I've had to bust a few skulls in order to get the job done. Could this be a setup? Is she on to me? Did someone send her this? I spent last night on the phone talking to Ruth. My gut instinct tells that she's not being entirely honest about who she is. But I don't think she's a cop. There's got to be something else going on. I decided to take her up on the massage offer, just to put this paranoia to rest away. When I arrived, I saw something that terrified me more than any experience I had in my entire life. You ever experienced something so irrational you can't even process it? Look, I don't know what this is, but I want nothing to do with it.
I'm sorry, but it was the only way for me to get you to connect with the family who was tragically murdered. And before you say anything, just listen. I'm just like you, okay? I can speak to the unrested. When people who transition from this earth can't properly rest, they seek people like you and I. People with the gift.
You got the wrong person. I don't have no fucking gift. My life was like living in hell, and now it's...
Now, I'm gonna show you how to use it for good. Trust me. I looked up your case from 2001. I basically grew up in that same mental facility they had you in. They thought I was crazy because the only friends that I would talk to were the dead ones. Over time, I learned how to reach all the way in, and I no longer have to wait for them to come to me, but I can actually visit them sometimes. I can show you how to not be afraid.
What does this have to do with me? Why me?
Well, it turns out of all the cases that I looked up, you're the only one who's not crazy. The things that you're seeing, they're actually real. So, what did the woman in the house, Miss Vega, say to you just now?
How do you know they were in there? And why haven't they been found?
I was visited by the family. The mother explained everything that happened. Their son, he was the fuck up of the family. He was a thief who stole from everyone, including them. When they finally told him it was enough, he poisoned them, took everything that they had, and he left. Now, Damon, what did Miss Vega ask you to do?
She said to find her son and bring him to her. But how does that make any sense? Can't they only speak to people that are connected?
I'm the catalyst. They might not be able to see them like you and I can, but I can make people hear them and feel them and even be harmed by them. Bring her son to me and I'll make sure he can feel them. And I know exactly where he is. His girlfriend lives nearby. Do this for me, and in return, I'll show you how to use your gift to its full potential. Don't you want to see your grandmother again? It's actually a really beautiful gift.
So what's the purpose and what do you get from all of this?
If you have the power to bring justice to people who have done some of the most heinous things that you can imagine, would you just turn a blind eye?
I agreed to help Ruth. Seems like I'm taking a huge chance on this. But if she's telling the truth, it's worth the risk. The liberating feeling not having to be afraid anymore. Plus, lately I've been feeling like I'll give anything to see my grandmother again. Whatever it takes.
Te vas a quemar en el infierno.
¡Quema en el infierno!
Quémate en el infierno.
¡Quítate!
¡Me vas a quemar por la eternidad!
Quémate en el infierno.
¡Ah! ¡Basta! ¡Déjame en paz! ¡Ah!
So how exactly do they do it?
Well, from what I understand, it's more like a possession. They take control of them and make them hurt themselves.
Do they feel it too?
No. Not physically. However, mentally, the pain never really leaves until it's settled. Now they can finally rest peacefully. Don't worry, Damon. It'll all make sense soon.
The longer I spoke to Ruth, the more clarity I gained. Eventually, I saw this gift for what it truly is.
Hey, baby. I'm so proud of you. Everything that the world has tried to throw at you, you've always chosen to stay on a righteous path. Those people tried to steal your talents, tried to take away your gifts, but you would never let them break you. But baby, remember this, not all gifts are meant to be shared.
Ruth said I'd be free to visit the loved ones that are no longer here. And for that, it was 100% worth it. The only thing I want to know is, how do I stop the wrong ones from coming?